What's going on, all you wild cosmonauts? Your two favorite astronauts are back from a mission in space, and we just watched Disney Pixar's Lightyear.
To
Starring up-
infidelity and beyond.
Boo. So what you're telling me is this is a sequel to Toy Story, right?
No, it's a sequel to Monsters Inc.
Of course. Of course.
Kind of more of like a prequel. The beginning of the film, it actually kind of sets it up as to what we're going to expect from this film. And in the beginning, it says in 1995, Andy got a toy. The toy was from his favorite movie. This is that movie. So, movie from Andy from the 1995 film Toy Story, and this is the story of Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger. Exactly all the craziness he gets into.
So Chris Evans takes over the role of Buzz Lightyear in this one. That's right. The astronaut that Buzz is based on the toy from the Toy Story movie. So this gives Buzz Lightyear his own movie as this astronaut who has to do these dangerous missions. He ends up on this mission and he kind of gets stuck there. And his job is to find a way to get these people back off the planet and back to their home planet. But every time that he tries to do it and takes off, something goes wrong and he can't seem to make his way off the planet. So it's very much about trying to get back home but not being able to. And eventually he does complete the mission, but it sets him off so far in the future that he goes back, to all the people that he knew, and they're, increasingly getting older every time that he comes across them.
Yeah, he keeps going on these missions. He never ages, but his friends, especially his, best friend in this movie, which is Izzy Hawthorne, played by Keke Palmer, voiced by Keke Palmer, comes back. She'll be like 40s, has a kid, and the next time he comes back, she's a grandma. And just gets older and like sick, and eventually, like most Pixar movies, it's really sad somebody dies. But essentially, Buzz Lightyear going on these missions, everybody keeps getting older. He comes back, never ages. And he's trying to figure out how to get all these people home, and some people die because they just get old. So there's a lot of typical Pixar themes in this about age and dying and friendships and love and all that stuff. But the real MVP of this movie is the cat behind me. It's a little robot cat that Sox, the worst baseball team of all baseball, the worst baseball team, the White Sox.
Watch it.
But Sox is the robot cat, so he has his companionship throughout the film because he's really dedicated and focused on this mission of getting all these people off this planet. So he can't really have any real relationships. Has this cat that helps him out. The cat's super smart. It's a robot, so it helps him figure out how they can accomplish this this mission to get them off finally. Buzz Lightyear is really hard on himself. Chris Evans did a really great job in this, voicing this character. I honestly went in with low expectations. I was really impressed and pleased with the final product of this film. Voicing this character, it's a real person. It's not the toy. So a lot of people upset Tim Allen's not doing it. Well, it's not the toy. It's a real person. So it wouldn't make sense to have the same voice. But really impressed with Chris Evans, doing some voice acting work here. And I really fell in love with this character, what he was going through and what they accomplished.
It was very cool how they took the toy of Buzz Lightyear and gave him his own movie and made it its own thing and kind of give him his standalone story here, as only Pixar could. And like you mentioned, there's a lot of heartfelt moments. The death that happens in it, I almost shed a tear. I was sitting there like looking around like, oh man, what's going on?
Somebody cut the onions?
Somebody cutting the onions over here. My eyes are welling up. And after that kind of hits you, then the story really picks up from there. But a lot of great comedic moments in it, as you'd imagine. Sox the cat's really funny. The banter back and forth between Buzz and Sox is really funny. You get some other supporting cast here, and some nods to some other sequels that we've seen. Of course, we have the villain here, Zurg. We saw Zurg back in the Toy Story movies. I think in Toy Story 2, he was like the main villain that we saw when the toys were being played with. We saw the whole side mission with Buzz and Zurg coming after him there. So the villain in this is Zurg, and there's some twists in this movie as well. We won't reveal any of those, but some good twists in there that I didn't really see coming, and I liked how they worked that in. But this really is a film that is pleasing to both kids and adults at the same time. I went with my son and my nephew and niece, and they're all under 10 years old, and they were all watching the screen the whole time, fully invested, laughing along with it, and they really enjoyed it just as much as I did, really. So I had a great time with this movie.
No, that's what Pixar does. That's what they're known for, really creating beautiful stories and animation that, everybody loves, small kids all the way up to adults to older people. It really, sticks with you, his story, and it just brings you in. There's always some character you get, wrapped up in, and somebody, heartbreak, somebody dies, that's just what Pixar does. And yet another example of really great storytelling here, really great animation.
Absolutely. The animation every year from Pixar just keeps getting better and better. Looking back to the 1995 beginnings, you can tell they were working on primitive, Windows, 95 equipment back then. And to see it come as far as it has now, it's pretty awesome to behold on the big screen. They can really do everything now with the animation at Pixar Studios. And this movie, is the latest evolution of Pixar. And a great job, great sound, great score. Didn't really have any qualms about it. It being so familiar though, it doesn't feel as special as like a new Pixar movie would, like there's been some other from recent years, Onward and Soul, that hit a little more than this, just because this is so familiar. You kind of know what to expect, but that's not a knock on the movie itself. It's a good movie. It's just not one of my favorite Pixar movies, but it's definitely a movie that's worth watching, especially if you have a kid to take to the movies with you.
Yeah, the score is absolutely beautiful. Michael Giacchino, which is no stranger to the Pixar universe. He won an Oscar for his score from the movie Up, which is one of my favorite Pixar movies. Really phenomenal flick. So he's returning to the score of this film. It feels very familiar, but also refreshing at the same time. Another character I wanted to bring up, the guy behind me, Mo, played by Taika Waititi, that wild goofball from What We Do in the Shadows and Marvel films, voicing this character is kind of the klutz, the clumsy guy, just messes up a bunch of stuff on this mission. He's just part of the crew, but he really brought something unique to this character.
Definitely. I enjoy his work always. He's, I love seeing him pop up in films, doing voice work now for this, and he really adds to the movie. I love the crew that Buzz gets to work with. Kiki Palmer did a good job too. Peter San as Sox, the whole supporting cast is great, not just Buzz, but Chris Evans really, inhabited the role of Buzz Lightyear. And hopefully we get a sequel and maybe old Tim Allen can come in some form. It would just be cool to have him back in the fold somehow. Not complaining that he's not in this film. It just wasn't about him, but it would be cool to like somehow tie him into the future.
Yeah, when you think of Buzz Lightyear, think of Tim Allen, obviously.
Right.
Toy Story being my favorite Pixar movie, the one that kicked it off, the best 4 movies. I loved all of them. I thought they're all very unique and brought something new to the movie industry. And returning to this character, Buzz Lightyear, a new approach in 2022 with better animation. It still really works. Fans from the originals are still going to love this. Kids are going to love this. We love this. So I think this is going to be a home run. Didn't do so great at the box office, but I think by word of mouth, I think there's going to be a lot more people checking this out. And for both of us, we definitely highly recommend this. So that being said, I'm going to give the brand new Disney Pixar Lightyear a 4 out of 5 Chris Evans hair pieces.
I'm going to give the exact same score. It was a great movie, had a lot of fun. My son enjoyed it. Not a lot of bad things to say about it. It's a good movie. Pixar delivers again. You guys should definitely check this out. And if you don't, it'll be on Disney Plus streaming in a couple months. So definitely stay tuned. If you don't get a chance to see it in the theaters, check it out on streaming. So with that being said, I'm going to give the same score, a 4 out of 5 Bill Hader hair pieces. So we are interested in what you guys thought of Pixar's Lightyear. Did you guys enjoy it as much as us? Did you take your kids this Father's Day weekend to see it? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to click subscribe. We want to see a Woody movie next, because that's what's coming next. They're going to do all the individual characters. I'm sure we're going to get old Tom Hanks coming back as Woody in some form, or maybe not Tom Hanks, maybe another iteration. But I have a feeling that Pixar is probably going to do the individual characters now. Just makes sense. They've kind of done all that they can with the toys now. But now that Lightyear's come out and been successful, hopefully will continue to be successful. Maybe we'll see the old cowboy himself, Woody, in the next adventure.
Yeah, I could see that. Maybe James Woods could do the voice.
No, I think he's been blacklisted out of Hollywood.
But no wonder I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
Check out these wild boys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Our website, Cinephellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV, movie news, and reviews.
That's right. We hope you guys enjoyed your Father's Day weekend. Had a great time spending it with your families. We know we both did. We both enjoyed spending our weekends with our kids. Had a great time. It's back to work tomorrow, but we had a great week at the movies, and they just keep coming. We're going to be going to the movies every week from now until the end of time, really. So with that being said, these two wild rascals are going to infinity and beyond. So until the next Cinephellas review, cheese.
Cheese!
Beep, boop.